Hey everybody, it's Matt, Wrestling with Whiskey, back again. Another episode of Straight Shooting. This time, a brand new guest, someone who actually likes whiskey this time. So we're moving up in the world. Everybody, please give a big hello to Dylan Postl, formerly known as Hornswoggle. You know him, you love him. Dylan, welcome to the show, man.
Hello. Hello. This is it.
This is it.
I enjoy whiskey. Whiskey doesn't enjoy me.
Okay.
It's there's there's so many stories, and I feel like you and I didn't cross paths for long enough because you guys were coming up as I was off the road and fired. So we never got to experience each other, and you never
Right.
got to experience dark side old dark side postal. When I get real sleepy, I'm known to get really sleepy on whiskey.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be fun.
Okay. Well, hopefully, like I said, these are small samples. Hopefully, not enough to induce
I'm a
sleepiness.
small human.
Oh, that's also true.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
calculate that. It's all right.
No.
Regardless, it's okay. The sleepier, the better. I don't give a shit.
So you're still in Chicago.
I am still in Chicago. Yeah, I mean, I moved back here once I went up, or shortly after I went up on the road. I moved back
Okay.
home. So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
That's Chicago.
What? Let me get. Packers fan, right?
I always say Wisconsin's armpit. Essentially, it's
Wow.
It's okay. It's all
What?
right.
You mean Illinois' dusty attic?
I was waiting for Illinois' backpack. That's a good one too, though.
No, that I like that. I like that as well. Yeah, a little bit. Wait, you're Oshkosh, right?
Oshkosh. Yeah, it's the best small town ever. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I have been to Oshkosh. I haven't been when I was a kid because like we had my dad's like family friend, or no, like a work associate had like a cabin or something up in that area, and we went there like one summer. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful country up there. I do love it.
I love it up here. And
Have you like never left kind of thing?
I lived in Green Bay for 2 years of my life, and it was too big for me.
Green Bay, Green Bay was too big.
Green Bay was too big for me.
Wow. Yeah, you're a small town guy.
Yeah, and it's so what I love about Oshkosh is literally within 3 to 5 minutes, everything I need is here. Target, gas station, my son's school, my parents' house, everything. I can get there so quickly. My training school, the venue I run shows at, all that stuff is so close. It's awesome. And never traffic. There's never traffic. They added like 12 or 16 roundabouts, and those are the worst things ever. And
God.
Now people are starting to get used to them, but it's still a pain in the butt. But it's okay. This is still my city.
That's so they added roundabouts. You like that's something that's from like old like Victorian times, and most people have gotten rid of them, but they added them.
Their reasoning, and I think this is proof of how much, sadly, Wisconsin drinks. They added them so that there was less head-on collisions. Because if you're going around, there's less head-ons rather than or T-bones, like sideswiping at a red light or a stop sign. They added roundabouts instead. That shows you how much the state trusts over tired drivers.
Which is like, yeah, no kidding. I'm like, but then
in reality, it's a smart thing. But
sure,
yeah,
but it's still weird. I'm like, because a lot of people don't quite get roundabouts, so I feel like there'd be a lot of like, it's
a lot of. I'm going around here. I have to exit here. So when I get to this now, he comes in, and now everyone just stops.
Yeah.
They don't slow down or keep going. They both stop. That's what causes the little. And I get it because now we're in a little fender bender instead of destroying.
Sure.
But it's very weird. The first year it was a mess. It was I loved it. I loved it. Yeah. And then you'll get these the older drivers who get stuck in them. They'll get in that middle lane and they go, oh shoot, I can't get out. I can't. And then it's like
A merry-go-round situation.
It's like European Vacation where he just keeps going around and around and around and around.
Oh God, the poor bastards.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. No, that's lovely. I've often thought about moving out to the country. I don't think I could do it, man.
You're in the city?
I am like I'm like 10 minutes from the Sears Tower. Sorry, Willis Tower.
Oh.
Like I am heart of the city and I love it. Like people got shot like 2 blocks from my apartment like several times this summer.
So you're saying 10 minutes from the Sears Tower, so you're literally like a block away in Chicago traffic.
Oh, I mean, if I'm driving, I could walk there. I could walk there in 30 seconds.
You can actually walk there faster than you can drive there. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
That's awesome.
But like you understand, man, home is home though, right? I mean,
man, that's how I am. Man, I love just landing back here and not dealing with traffic. From my bed to the gate at my small town airport is 26 minutes. It's the best.
No matter what the time of day, no matter
what.
That is beautiful.
And I've flown out of this airport again for so long. They have I've been overserved a couple nights, so I've missed my alarm clock, and they've held like the plane. Oh, sorry, something must be wrong. Security, security at this point just goes, just go. It's fine. We're gonna see you in 2 days, and then 2 days after that, anyways.
Is that the type of place though that sometimes you'll have to get like the old like triple connection to get out to a show or something?
Double. I'm so used to connections, they don't matter to me anymore.
Sure.
And it's more miles because it's more segments, which I love. So I think if I had direct flights, it would be really weird to me because I would be like, what do I do with the rest of my day?
Yeah.
Like I'm used to flying for hours and hours. And just having like 1 2 hour flight would be like, now what? Like,
yeah.
You mean I don't have to leave at 5:30 in the morning? I can leave at 7:30? That's odd.
But it's awesome.
It definitely, like when I have random Detroit or Minneapolis or Atlanta bookings, those directs are like, whew, this is easy.
Yeah. But it's kind of like, so the trade-off for something like me, so like Chicago, I can get a direct flight almost like anywhere in the country, which is great, but then I have to accommodate for Chicago traffic. I have to accommodate for security at O'Hare. And I mean, luckily, there's pre-check and stuff like that. But so it's like, it's almost, even though the flight is direct and I don't have to connect anywhere, I really do have to allow that extra like 2 hours sometimes for travel and security and getting through and all that stuff.
And one snowflake hits the ground in O'Hare, everything's canceled.
Yeah. So you know what?
O'Hare is easily my least favorite airport in the world, just because it just seems that one snowflake hits, one drop of rain, and nope, 3 hours, not going to move.
Yeah.
We live in the Midwest. Like, this is a Midwest airport. You
think they'd be used to it by now?
Yeah.
Yeah. It also makes me sad because like I'm a big United guy, and it's like the global headquarters of United is Chicago. Oh, all the O'Hare or the United billboards are along the highway, and it's like the saddest terminal.
Yes.
And I'm like, then if you fly into like Jersey or like Newark or something, it's got like this state of the art, like beautiful terminal, and you're like,
and
what the hell?
Because I always connect in Chicago. I always, like, a big city to my small town airport. It's always C and the end of C to F. And now, even before pandemic, like a year before pandemic, they got rid of the C to F shuttle, which was a lifesaver for me to get on that. Now they got rid of it. It's literally like a 2-mile walk.
Yeah.
My little ass legs ain't moving. Like, it's that them getting rid of that shuttle is awful. Awful.
Yeah.
And it's always like C20 to F22.
Yeah, because then you got to go under the tunnel all the way over to B, then to the other.
Through B, all the way through that sushi market area. Yeah, it's the worst.
Dude,
I like the United Terminal. The United Terminal in Chicago is pretty nice. I like that. And everything seems, or not, the American Terminal.
Yes.
The American one. Everything seems much closer.
Yes.
Much closer.
Yeah, it always blows my mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, you said it. Speaking of that was kind of my first question. Speaking of like, the crazy pandemic and everything going on, how has that, like, what have you been up to like this last year? Like, how has that affected your school, your promotion, your bookings, your work, family life sort of thing?
So January and February were my only down months of the pandemic. Like for like honestly, I mean, obviously like the April, May, there was nothing. But January and February, like from then on, January, February were like the only ones that were really light.
Last January or this January?
No, like just happened.
Oh,
Just
okay.
happened. Yes, because I've been still pretty consistent between signings and random indie shots and then our shows and that kind of thing. It's been pretty consistent, thankfully. It's different. It's much different right now, but I think we're careening over the hill right now. I think we're on the way. I think it's very, very close. I think it's close.
I think it'll be a good summer.
I think it'll be a very good summer. But people want to see entertainment. Our shows are doing awesome. I have our big one, Water City Wrestling Con, and we just sold out yesterday.
Really?
Pretty awesome. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's pretty awesome, and we're requiring masks. We're doing temperatures. We're requiring sanitizing when you get there, and doing all that stuff. And it's just, my thought is, if I can go to Walmart and not be this protected, in all reality, I think I can run a safe wrestling show and make people feel safe and let them get away for 2 to 3 hours. Let them get away from real life and let them escape real life for a bit. Yeah. Forget about the craziness that's going on in the world, especially during the election time and all that stuff. And it's just one thing after another this year. And it's just us being able to provide shows really has made me feel like, okay, we might get looked at poorly, but I know deep down we're doing something pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's in the end, that's what matters, to get people's minds off the crap in the world.
And there's a lot of crap to get your mind off.
Yeah,
of.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of getting our mind, let's go ahead. Let's dive into the first pour. Then.
So we go into A.
Yes, go to A. I'll have a little something here with you.
Literally my test. It's like opening a science experiment.
Well, I wouldn't have. I put tape on them because like the last ones I sent ended up leaking out a little bit. Yeah, buddy. That's always a good one. I might have to make a GIF of you too. I made one of Broski, so I might have to make one of you. Let's get your nose.
Can you sip this stuff?
I sip it. I literally swish it around in my mouth. I'll put my nose.
What? And here's okay. So you I don't know if you listened to the episode of the podcast that I was on.
Oh, right. Yeah, yep.
I have a lot of things, a lot of hot takes about whiskey, a lot of hot takes that I just don't understand. First one, why do we call it bourbon and why do we call it whiskey? It doesn't make any sense to me. They tried to tell me. I was really sleepy by the end of that show. I don't get it. I still don't get it. Secondly, why are we drinking it room temperature and not cold? Doesn't make sense to me. It's not cider. It's not hot chocolate. It's not wintertime right now. It just doesn't. I know it waters it down. I get that, but that means you're not drinking it fast enough. And I get that you don't want to get really tired. But it just doesn't make sense. The whole whiskey culture, I love it. I really, really like. It's a legit culture.
Yep.
And I'm understanding that. It's like the wine culture or like any kind of thing like that. I get it and I get the love for it. I just, as we'll see, this is going to be rough. I
love it.
I am a peanut butter whiskey guy. I love peanut butter whiskey. Give me that screwball.
Screwball, oh baby.
It is the best. But, all right.
Fair.
I'm taking a sip, correct?
Wait, are you going right out of the bottle? Do you have a glass?
Why am I not doing it out of the bottle?
I've never seen anyone drink out of a sample bottle before, direct.
You fucking sent it to me this way, Matt.
I know, because I assumed you'd bring a cup or something with you. I mean, To each their own. I want you to at least, have a chance to smell. Wow. Really let it sit there. Yeah. Contemplate on it.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, it's in my nose. Oh, it's in my nose.
It goes there, yeah.
It goes right in my nose. Now it's out of my nose. No burn. There was no burn in that one.
Ooh, okay. Good observation.
I think aerating it through the shampoo bottle.
The little squirt.
Yeah, I think that aerated it like a decanter essentially.
Which also might have contributed to getting it in your. It probably just launched right to the back of your mouth and into your nose.
Yeah. So it probably did worse than better. I don't mind that one.
Okay.
I could not shoot that, and I if I were to shoot this, I feel like that would give me real bad crummy tummy because that would burn more. But if I took a sip like that, especially aerating it the way I did, I think I'm onto something with the shampoo bottle. Just doing that like a test tube, essentially. I think we're putting bubbles in it and essentially lightening the blow for people who don't like whiskey.
You might have just stumbled upon a brand new way to consume. Like, trust me, like being in this culture and in this like hobby, people are always looking for goofy gimmicks, and we know gimmicks
like peanut butter.
Like, oh yeah, peanut butter. We're gonna invent 15 different glasses that you can sip and sniff out of. It's like Jesus. So like you might have just.
I have these shitty glasses, these plastic glasses that I've had since I moved out of my parents' house 20 years ago from Target. I have my friends come over and they ask for wine glasses. I proceed to say, up there. They open the thing. They go, where? I said, see that fucking bright blue one and bright green one and red one and the one with the white and the marks from the dishwasher? Those are your wine glasses. Well, do you have any regular ones? I said, I do, but no need to fucking use them because it all works the same. You can smell it out of there. You can taste it out of there. You want to swirl it? Fucking swirl it to your heart's content because they're tall ass glasses. It's just stupid. I'm gonna try this again.
Yeah, just take a little sip, swish it around, see what you think.
Very good up front. Very good in the front of the mouth.
Oh.
When you swallow it, no, now I'm getting a burn. I think I kept it in my mouth too long. But it had a very almost sweet taste when I first put it in my mouth, and it was in the front of my mouth. I like this one. Okay. Again, I could not. This isn't a shoot one.
I mean, to me, there is no such thing as a shooting whiskey.
You don't ever shoot. Oh,
I do not.
You love whiskey.
Oh my God.
What do you shoot then? Tequila?
I don't shoot anything.
Stop it.
I don't.
We're fucking okay.
Do you want to get real? I haven't been drunk in 4 years.
Okay, but we're going to the bar, and I like to get real tired. So
we'll get tired.
All right, we go up to the bar. I said, "What do you one shot for the night? What are you taking?"
If I got to take a shot, I mean, I'll probably whatever bourbon is on there. That's not like a fancy high end, top shelf kind of thing.
So whatever
they got.
I'm sorry.
Whatever bourbon they got, that's bourbon.
Whiskey. Okay.
Bourbon whiskey, yes. Much like Scotch whiskey or Japanese whiskey.
That's another thing.
Or rye whiskey or Canadian whiskey.
Okay, so I know
or South African whiskey or Australian whiskey. Should I go on?
Bourbon whiskey is a type of whiskey. I think I remember them telling me bourbon is a type of whiskey. Whiskey isn't a type of bourbon.
All bourbon is whiskey, not all whiskey is bourbon. That's the old thing. Yep. It's just it has rules. Scotch has rules. Irish whiskey has rules. Bourbon has rules.
Scotch fucking sucks.
I used to think so too. I'm getting into
it now.
Dude, the funny thing is I get more like Scotch samples sent to me like by these companies for reviews and stuff. My page is all bourbon. All bourbon. I freaking love bourbon. I've received more Scotch samples though in the last like 6 months than bourbon. Hands over.
Is it because they can't sell it?
No, they can't. I think the Scotch companies.
They can't move enough products. They're just giving it away.
I just think they're more established. They have like, because bourbon is on like this crazy like trendy hot streak right now,
Yeah.
and so they're kind of withholding it to like only like the big media outlets. So whereas Scotch,
we have a leaker.
well, there's still enough to sit, have a sip in there.
Plenty.
Okay,
So going back to A though.
yeah.
Do we do ratings now or do we do them after?
Well, I think we'll kind of, once we get all three down, we'll kind of give a here's why this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay. You'll kind of give your final thoughts.
I'm putting that at number 1 right now.
1 of 1, perfect. Yeah. And we'll get to the others in a minute. So, but before that, you talked about some good friends of mine, Will and Grease at the podcast, had you on their show, which actually I'm going to be on in a couple weeks. So I'm sure we'll talk about that. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about a lot of it. I am just curious personally. How did that come to be? How did you hook up with those guys?
Grease is my best friend that I've never met. I love him. I was a fan of WDW Today. And
yes,
I'm a huge fan of their Disney podcast. While with WWE, I was like asking to be on it, and I never received anything back. And finally, I bugged Logan enough, and they let me on. And now now it seems like once every couple months, they call him the little guy, and it's like WWE when they have to sell out Saudi, they just call him the little guy. Then I said to them, I said, hey guys, I want to do the podcast, and this was like, I want to say this was 6 to 7 months ago. Like, yep, we'll get you on. Every month, I've been begging them. Or not and bugging them like, hey, let's do this. Yeah, we'll do it. And then randomly I was like, hey, can you do this? And can we do it this day? I go, sure. And we did it. And it was, I love, you know what I love about Grease is just a Southern boy. And I love him for that. Whenever he drops a dad gum, it makes me it makes my heart full. Like, I never heard that term in my life besides on like Rocco's Modern Life.
Right. Yeah. It almost didn't seem real. Yeah.
Yes, correct. No one talks like that. Grease talks with dad gums. And he's just, whenever I listen to him on WDW Today, he's almost like the court jester at times, but he fully accepts that. And I love that because that's how I am in my circle. I'm fine being the random one. And the one that's just there, get his 2 cents in here and there, that could stay back. But he's so fun. And them two together, man, we had a blast.
Oh yeah.
The hot takes were flying. It was good. It was really good. So
that leads me to my question. So, and I'm gonna dive into this when I talk to them when I'm on their deal too. But it's a valid point. Always stay hydrated too. Yes. Smart move. Grease, how much of the Grease is a gimmick and how much is a shoot?
I love it. I mean, it's close. It's close to 50-50. I really feel, because I have legitimately FaceTimed him. Just had a normal conversation with him. I could FaceTime him the next day. And he is full-blown Southern boy. But I feel like it's not turning it on and off. I don't feel like it's that at all. I feel like it's whatever the situation is that he's in is. Whatever we're talking about. If he gets real excited, those dad gums are going to come out. If he gets real angry, his dad gum is going to come out. Like, yeah. But it's just, man, I love him. Love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
And then the two of them got a great, like, Will is like the perfect straight man to him too.
Yeah, and Will's also balance. Like, Will gets angry. I like Grease is always like kind of the happy-go-lucky. He gets mad at certain things, but Will is the good angry one at times. He just gets fired up, here and there, and that works to counteract the Grease.
Well, we got to absolutely. You got to have a little bit of balance in there.
Exactly.
So kind of shifting over to a little bit of wrestling and everything.
Yes.
You said there were some stories. I'm curious, Whiskey Road stories. Maybe a little tired swoggle, so to speak.
My first WrestleMania 23. I was 20 years old. just a child, a legitimate child.
I was at that. I was like 10 rows from the ring.
So the Thursday before, I want to say, the WrestleMania hotel shared a parking lot with a TGI Fridays.
This is already good.
Myself, I remember Hurricane being there. I'll get to that part. I remember Bob Holly being there. I don't remember anyone else, but I remember there was a lot of people. It was from whiskey. It was from my Uncle Jack, and he took care of me that night a lot. It made me real tired, so much so that the car ride across a parking lot only, I threw up all over Hurricane's car. This rental car, threw up all over it, just yacked. I pull up. We pull up to the lobby. My door opens. JBL and Bruce Pritchard are right there. Bruce Pritchard, who's a very high person in the company. JBL, who is known as a bully of sorts and that kind of person. JBL comes up to me. Hornswoggle, are you drunk? No, sir. Are you sure, Hornswoggle? Yes, sir. I'm not drunk at all. And I proceed to almost fall just to my death in the concrete. They got me on a luggage cart and they wheeled me up to my room. JBL wheeled me up to my room. So to get to the car, I forgot this part, to get to from Inside Fridays to the car, Bob Holly had to carry me like a purse by my belt loop of my jeans, literally like a giant duffel bag. And I'm very heavy. And he just had to carry me into the car. So two of the alleged biggest bullies of the locker room took care of a 20-year-old little guy on his first WrestleMania week. I then come to find out the week after, Vince's limo pulled in as they were rolling me out of the lobby. So if it would have been 5 minutes later, the boss seeing me in that state at my first WrestleMania, like, whew, could have been the end of me real quick. Yeah, it was literally like he said it was as they were rolling me out of the lobby, Vince's limo pulled up.
Yeah. Holy shnikes.
Yeah.
Timing was on your side that
Woo,
night.
You can't imagine.
Baby.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. Well, all right, then let's do that. Cheers to that. Let's move on to sample number 2 then, or B.
Oh, this one.
There you go. Bottoms up.
Mm-mm. Oh, daddy. Mm-mm.
No. Big no. It's in the nose again. Yeah, for those who are just hearing the audio version.
Yeah, we're doing an audio podcast. I keep forgetting that.
Well, both. It's both video and audio, so.
It's not leaving. It's not.
That's usually good. It's a long, lingering.
You know what how I would describe that one? Oaky mouthwash. That's how
I like the oaky part. So minty a little bit? Like spearmint?
No, the burn of mouthwash.
Oh, just like mentally alcohol-y, like.
Yeah, got here,
okay.
Got it in my mouth, got it to my nose. Like if you swallow a little bit of mouthwash, it was very oaky mouthwash. Yeah. That's not one that no.
Not enjoyable.
We don't shoot drinks or bourbons. If I were to, I would have yacked that one up in a heartbeat. 100%.
I mean, we might be finding a slight flaw in your shampoo bottle approach, though.
No, I didn't. I took the thing off.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that was just a regular sip. Okay.
It was a regular sip.
Okay.
And you know what? I'll give it a second, a little baby boy.
Just a little baby. Just let it sit on your tongue.
Smell better. It smells better than the first one. It's not so strong in the scent.
Okay.
I will say that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a very oaky smell, too.
Okay. Pleasant on the nose.
Not on the nose. Not once you drink it, though.
Not on the palate. Just give it a little bit. Just let it sit on your tongue. You don't have to slug it back. Just kind of, and then swallow. See if that changes it. No, still a no. Okay.
It was no better.
Okay.
That one burned my belly. That one, I got a lot of belly to burn, and that one burned every inch of my belly.
That one burned. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So, that one's not my favorite.
Okay.
That one's not my favorite.
So out of 2, it's pretty, 1 and then 2.
Out of 2, that one's in last place. Yes.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
But yeah,
but it smelled a little bit better, you thought.
That's the only thing it had going for it.
Okay. That happens sometimes.
It smelled less whiskey-y. And I don't mind the smell of whiskey. I just know when I smell whiskey, I'm going to taste the whiskey, and then I'm going to really feel the whiskey.
Yeah. You just need to change your relationship with whiskey.
No. Whiskey needs to change its relationship with me. That's what.
Well, what the doctors say, if you're relying on other people to change, you're going to be waiting a long time. You can only work on yourself.
Listen, I don't have much time to wait. Be honest here. We're calling a spade a spade. If we're really shooting like this podcast says. By the way, I saw the title. I was like, is this a fucking Rob Feinstein interview series or what here?
Right. Yeah. No. Who knows? And the title of this thing may change 10 times before we're finished. Just because I realized, I'm like, when I went and uploaded this, I was like, so cards on the table. The idea for this basically, I'm ripping off Hot Ones, but with whiskey.
I love that. Yep.
Like, but I cut it down from like 8 to 3 because I'm like, nobody's gonna want to get sloshed on this thing. So that was the antithesis, and I was gonna call it Hot Shots or Shot Ones. And I'm like, yeah,
that would too complete. That would come off as a complete ripoff.
Right.
I didn't take this as that at all.
Right, which is good. So, but then I'm like, all right, straight shooting. It comes into like wrestling, like shoot interviews, stuff like that.
That's immediately why I thought I was like straight shooting. This is an RF collection here.
So, but when I uploaded it to like the podcast platforms, so I'm like, all right, I went to search myself to see like where I was on the list and everything like that. Turns out there's like 3 hunting podcasts. They're like all called like straight shooting straight with, Dick Horvey. With antlers and stuff like that. I'm like, so I'm like, I thought I was getting, there's no wrestling shoot interviews or shoot. That's not the confusion. It's the hunting podcast.
It came up as wrestling with whiskey. I like that a lot.
Thank you very much. Yes, I was very pleased with that.
Can you put an H after the wrestling W? Is that fun or is that just, what I mean?
What do you mean?
So it's like whiskey and wrestling combined in one word. Playing on words here. I know you're sorry. I know you're this intellectual genius.
I'm trying to suss it out. I'm trying to picture it.
I think B messed up my brain.
Maybe.
That's what I'm blaming on.
It's okay. And hopefully we'll get to see in a minute, and hopefully that'll right things. But before that, moving along, you had mentioned the Boss Man and you mentioned Vince McMahon. One thing that I wanted to ask you personally, from speaking as another wrestler, as another former WWE performer, you got to work with the Boss Man pretty close, in some of these TV angles and everything like that. And when I came up, he was kind of more of a recluse. So I got to know from a worker standpoint. I mean, what kind of relationship did you have with him during those times? What was he like? Was he fun? Was he an asshole? Like, give me the deets.
I talk about it in my book, and we'll pop that later. But I talk about it in there. I'm very one of my biggest regrets in all my time in WWE was I worked with him every week, twice a week sometimes, in the same segments and all that, and backstages and all the pre-tapes and all this, and I never asked him anything, and I didn't want to ask him hey man, how about that Bret Hart thing, huh?
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been that. It would have been hey, so that Warrior logo made out of fireworks, or those Sid letters, where are those at? Where are those? Random stuff that he's probably never been asked, and that he might not know or might not care about. I want to know, hey, Why did you switch Money Inc.'s briefcase to gold? Just stupid random things. I don't care about Hulk Hogan's payoff at WrestleMania 3. I care about how many caskets are in the warehouse right now. That's what I care about. And whether he knows or not, he might give me a bullshit answer, but he'll give me an answer. And I just wish I would have asked, talked to him more, I guess.
Sure.
I was always so intimidated by him, like a lot of us were.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have been. Like, he wants you to talk to him. He really, and I truly feel he wants you to talk to him, not about wrestling at times. Like, he wants to be like, hey, he would bring up my son all the time. Hey, how's the boy? And this, when last year, I was about to film a thing for the Backlash pay-per-view, and it just didn't happen because we ran out of time. Whatever. But I made sure to go up to him and say hi. He asked about Landon, my son. Like, that kind of stuff is so cool to me that, I mean, he doesn't have to know anything about me anymore or care about me at all anymore. And whether he has those in his back pocket that he asks everyone, it doesn't matter, because for that second, I felt pretty awesome. So, it's just, it was great. I literally just thought about it a couple weeks ago. The 15th anniversary of Raw, like that big episode.
Mm-hmm.
I opened the episode with the McMahon family portrait thing. I had 3 segments on the show, 2 backstages and a match, where I posed with Hulk Hogan, which was unreal. And then the closing shot of Raw was me pouring beer with Austin and Triple H next to me onto Vince. It doesn't get better than that. Like, I was 22 years old. Like, yeah. What the hell? What's life at that point? Like, man, it's that part of my time was just riding the wave, man. Legitimately just riding the wave.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
No, absolutely. I've said that to anybody about him too. I'm like, he can be intimidating and everything, but once you can get in that door and sit in front of him, he's just a dude. He just, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day,
as long as here's my thing, as long as you treat him like a boss and do what he asks, like you would at any job, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you put yourself above that, or you don't listen to that, that's the issue. McDonald's, you ain't gonna cook the McNuggets on the grill that the hamburgers go on just because you think it's what you should do. No, and you're gonna get in trouble for doing so. Same as WWE with the boss.
Yeah, very true. I mean, at the end of the day, that's just work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I want nuggets.
Yeah. Before we move to our final sample, yeah. I did want to. So on something that totally caught me off guard that I didn't know about. So on your Twitter profile, it talks about being a quote unquote Muppet connoisseur. Yeah. What is that, or where did that? Are you really a huge fan of going back?
Aiden Matthew English. I don't know if you know, but I've starred in Muppets Most Wanted.
Yes, I am aware of that.
Big role, 3/4 of the movie. Listed in the credits above Usher. I don't know if you've heard of Usher, but I listed in the credits above him. That's mainly because it's in alphabetical order. But I still put myself above Usher. No, man. In all honesty, there's my living room. And
yep.
Literally all Muppets, the whole thing. My basement is all Muppet stuff. It's just my life. Like, I've been a fanatic
since you were a kid.
Yeah, it started with Muppet Babies, and then I would watch the Muppet Show, the old one, reruns of it, and then it's always been a part of my life. And I started getting them tattooed on my leg, and then they were announced they were going to guest host, and I was like, I'm going to go crazy here. I'm going to get, in 6 days, I'm going to get 10 tattoos of different Muppets. And I called my tattoo guy and said, hey, we need to make this happen. He goes, here we go. And it was awesome. It was awesome.
Did you get it all? You get them all done?
Yeah. And then I continued. I have 26 Muppets on my leg right now.
Oh, one leg?
Huh?
On one leg?
On one. Yeah, it's just around the bottom part of my leg, and I got little legs. But it's never done. It's never going to be done.
Of course.
There's so many characters. I have literally lists of characters on my computer that I need to get, and like in order of when I'm gonna get them. But it's just always been, man. They've always been like such a cool part of my life. And so when they hosted Raw, I was this huge fanatic, and they knew about me being a fanatic because of the tattoos, and they're like, "Hey, are you the one with the tattoos?" I said, "Goddamn right I am. Goddamn right." And I lift my pant leg, and they go, "Oh, you're serious?" I go, "Yeah." And they're like taking pictures of their characters that they would perform, and like it was the coolest thing to me. Whether they thought it was a joke or not, I loved it. But then after they guest hosted, I heard they were going to start filming another movie. So I had WWE's PR people reach out to theirs and see if I said, "Hey, put me in like if they're at the subway just walking past, I don't care. I just need to be part of a Muppet movie." And that's what I thought it was going to be. And it turned into literally half the movie, which is awesome. Like working with Ray Liotta and Tina Fey and just all it. I knew, but here's Kurt Hawkins, Brian Myers gets on my case constantly because I didn't know Ray Liotta from Goodfellas. I knew him from another Muppet film.
What?
I knew him from Muppets from Space, not from Goodfellas. Yeah, Danny Trejo. I knew of him, but he appeared on one of the newer Muppet kind of shorts online. I knew him from that, not from his films. Like, yeah.
So your entire like reference for the entertainment world, probably outside of wrestling, was the Muppets.
I knew Elton John first because of his appearance on the original Muppets film.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But all right. So then, best Muppets movie besides the one you were in.
No, mine is pretty low on my list even. The original Muppet movie, easily number one. I can watch that when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm angry, and it just gives me feeling like no other. Still to this day, best soundtrack of any movie, easily. The original Muppet movie, number one. Muppet Christmas Carol, number two.
Ooh, yep.
Number three is Muppets Take Manhattan. The three kind of older ones. It just, and that's like a connection through so many ages. Like my grandparents watched the original Muppet Show, but yet my son loves the new movies, and we're gonna watch the original Muppet Show on Disney Plus together. Like it lasts. It's always a brand that's lasted.
Did you watch the short-lived, what was it, the ABC
The sitcom,
version?
The Muppets.
Yeah.
The Muppets, yeah. So here's my issue with that. They didn't know what their identity was. They wanted to be The Office, but they wanted to be Muppets. You can't cross the two.
Yeah.
And for that time slot, if you're still trying to get any children at all, the time slot's way too late. It was 8:00 my time on ABC on like I think Monday nights or something. The show was great. The show was really fun and like kind of edgy because Muppets were drinking and like hungover and stuff. It was awesome, but no one saw it. That's the issue, and because no one knew how to take it.
They were trying to make like an adult Muppet.
Yeah, it was literally. It was literally The Office, but with Muppets playing the characters. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, cheers. Let's move on to our final sample on that. Try this one. See what you think. We'll get to our reveals soon after.
Oh no, this one's gonna burn.
Just a little sip at first.
This one's definitely gonna burn. I can smell the burn. Yep.
Cheers to that.
Oh, there it is. Son of a gun. I thought I was getting through it.
Thought you could avoid it. It'll always find you, but it depends on where it hits.
A didn't. A never got the burn. This one, taste, very good.
Okay.
Very good tongue taste. A little tingly, which is odd. I've never had that before, or at least with these.
Really?
A little tingly sensation on my tongue, in my mouth. Not as heavy of a burn.
one.
Dang it.
That
I
one.
thought I was gonna get through. I was so close. It literally was 3/4, and then it hit, and it just poof. Not terrible. Not
Okay.
terrible. On ice, man. Can you imagine these three things on ice?
Yeah,
Wow.
and which is always an option. Like I know you talked about it up front. That like I mean, a lot of us geeks about this stuff. Yes, I like almost everything neat. I don't like anything in it, which I know doesn't make sense to you. But
Yeah.
ice, if that's what you want to drink it, that's fine. And I think I'm a firm believer in drink how you want it. My only suggestion is like don't load a glass with ice. Maybe throw one ice cube in there. You know what I mean? One or two, something like that.
That's why they do the ice, the spheres, because they don't.
I like
melt.
those. Yes, I like those too. One big cube is always nice too. So yeah, that's always an option. You can play with that afterward. In your spare time. But I think I kind of figured out. But 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. How do you rank them? If you had to choice.
I mean, on ice, it would be. I think without ice, A, C, B. On ice, C might be a strong contender.
Okay.
I think it being cold would cut a little bit of the burn. I just have a feeling.
It's potential. Okay.
But A was definitely like like I said, it had that sweet, a weirdly sweet taste when I first tasted it. B was hard. B was a hard one to get through. But C, yeah. A, C, B.
Okay, fair enough.
Is this where we reveal what they are?
We're going to go through reveal now. So like, people have been able to see, like when this goes up on YouTube, people will see what the bottles are as you're having them. But now is kind of the big reveal. So I was playing a little bit because I wasn't sure what your whiskey, like how into it you were, all that stuff and everything. So, but I wanted to play a little bit of a game with you and see what you thought. So today we were playing the age game.
Okay.
And so a lot of people think the older the better with whiskey. It's like anything age, everyone assumes the older the better. So I did a wide variety of ages here with these samples. So sample A is an independent distillery called Still Austin from Texas. Austin, Texas. This is 2-year-old bourbon. Which is young as hell.
Okay.
Most people would say don't put out bourbon before 4 years.
40?
4.
Oh, I
Holy shit. That would be wild. No, 4 is usually a good range. It's when things hit like this bottle and bond. You can start bonding them and everything like that. 2 is pretty damn young. But that's why I like this one too. I think it's very impressive and very pleasant at 2 years old. It doesn't taste overly harsh. It tastes nice. Yep. So that was your favorite, was the youngest one out of the group.
Love that.
So sample B, your least favorite, is kind of a cult favorite in the whiskey world. It's Heaven Hill 6-year bottled and bond. It's 100 proof. So yeah, the first one is
that a plastic bottle?
No, it is not plastic. It has
the top like a plastic, like the neck of it looks like a plastic bottle.
It resembles a lot of other bottles of its like age and era. Yeah. It is a plastic screw top, unlike corks on these other ones. But this one got discontinued a little while ago, and so this used to be $11 Kentucky only, $11 on the shelf. Got discontinued so they could, this brand could make like other products and stuff. Gone, so everyone got pissed. You can now these sell for like $80 on like Facebook or whatever, trading groups and things like that. It's kind of a little bit of a cult favorite because it was so cheap and like Kentucky only. So from 2 to 6 years old, that was your least favorite. And then number 3 was a Wild Turkey 13-year export only Japanese release. You could only get these in Japan. Distiller's Reserve. This one is 91 proof. And
we used to, when I bartended, I was still working for WWE, but I was off the road and I was like bored. It's like, I'll just randomly bartend in my small town bar and make extra money. That was the shot I would give people if they started pissing me off, because just a double shot of Wild Turkey Yeah, you'll love this. Here, get
Well,
stop
what
talking.
do you remember? What wild was it? What the regular like Wild Turkey 80 81 proof? Was it the 101?
101.
101. That's usually the go-to. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
that was
no, this one's a special one. Like I said, 101 is like a blend of stuff. This is a special 13-year limited edition
okay.
Japanese export thing. So now I'm nursing the. I got that on my first tour of Japan with
Oh, that's
WWE.
awesome.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to like work my way through it really slowly. So it's that was what I wanted to see. We went from 2 to 13 years old, and which I kind of thought was going to happen. The youngest one, because I
I
am
really
very
like. Yeah, I
impressed
like
with
that.
this one. It's
I like that a
very
lot.
pleasant.
Yeah, yeah. It's very like I said. It has like had a weirdly sweet taste in the beginning. It's good.
Yeah, I love doing this too with people like who aren't now like you drink whiskey from time to time, but you're not like the dorks like us or some of the people who like super
Yeah,
into it. So I love doing that too because it's almost like with wrestling. Sometimes showing wrestling to like somebody who never watches it, you get some interesting perspectives where
yep.
you're like, oh crap, I never thought about that. He pointed that out, and all these fans who watch it every day didn't notice that. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love I
Exactly.
love getting outside perspectives.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
Well, before we go, then
Yeah.
we got some patron questions. Patreon.com/wrestling with whiskey for our club members and everything like that. They get the chance to ask some questions. So, kind of
Cool.
rapid fire. We'll jump into a few of those. First, coming up, Jay Galinsky wanted to know. Pretty standard question here. Of all the storylines and angles you got to do, what was your favorite that you got to be a part of?
The favorite angle was the Vince's son thing. I mean, the three things that are most talked about are Vince's son, DX, and WLC. WLC is the best thing I'll ever do in my life. I'll never do anything better. Like it, yeah, it's the best thing. But the Vince's son angle, I mean, like I say, I was the main event, the last segment on Raw, a good amount of times, and it featured in a heavy role a good amount of times. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Easily that.
hell yeah. Lauren Casuto wanted to know what's the first, and I know you're not again like a dork like us, but what's the first whiskey you remember drinking and like actually enjoying?
Enjoying would definitely be the screwball stuff.
Okay, okay. Oh god, you're
Drinking,
gonna get some heat for that.
yeah, I know. Drinking, I remember being 2003, like possibly underage, uh, shooting Jack because that was the wrestler thing,
Oh yeah,
and real wrestlers drink Jack Daniels and shoot it and they gargle it. So stupid, I think. I don't get it. I never understood it. I just a bunch of grown ass men gargling in the
yeah,
bar. Come on. But I mean, Fireball, I kind of enjoy. Oh, you know what I really like? Honey Jack. That was the
Oh
first
my
one I
god,
enjoyed.
dude, you are gonna get
I
roasted.
know. I enjoy Honey Jack.
All flavored whiskeys.
Yeah, Honey
Okay.
Jack on ice. Chef's kiss. I
Have you
love
ever
it.
have you ever had the wild turkey, honey?
No, because I just think of taking shots of regular wild
Wild
turkey.
turkey. Yeah, hell yeah. Aaron Blizzard wanted to know who was your favorite person to work with, either in or out of the ring.
Torito in the ring by far. Easily by far. He can do it all. He can literally do
Oh, dude.
anything. He is. If I were a quarter of the athlete, he was. He is still. Yeah, easily him. Yeah, probably him.
And then their follow up was: is there a dream match out there that you still would like to have with somebody?
So I faced Brian Kurt Myers Hawkins. I faced him an Impact, and that was like awesome. We're best friends. He wrote the forward in my book. Him and I like instantly clicked in '06. Like we were just buddies. And since then, best friends. I talk to him every day. I would like a tag run with him. We were gonna do it when I first got fired. And then 2 months into me being released, I was with him. And he goes, let me take this. He goes out. We were eating breakfast.
Oh,
We
God.
were on a loop, and he got hired. That's when he got hired. But he sits back down. And he goes, Toronto just called me. Yeah, they're hiring me back. And I go, don't you fucking leave me. Don't you fucking leave me. And then I realized what I said, and I go, I mean, you have a family, so you have to go, but please don't leave me. Like,
Yeah.
I literally felt like a lost puppy. I never really did independence. And I was like, he got me. So when I got released, he was the first person. I called him before my dad. And he goes, I said, I'm sitting on my living room floor weeping, bawling my eyes out. He goes, stop crying, get up, talk to Ryan Barkin at Pro Wrestling Tees, start your store right now. He goes, I'll call you back later this afternoon. He called me back in a half hour with 13 dates immediately. It's just the coolest. Like,
hell yeah.
And so but that's how both of us have always been with each other, like just looking out for each other. And he sends Landon wrestling figures and guilts me into buying my son wrestling figures because he just wants he wants Landon to be happy. Like he knows how much I care about him, and him and Landon are best friends too. And like, it's the best. It's the coolest thing. So I would like a really fun tag run with him. We have a couple matches in the works possibly. But I would like a really cool, like an indie tag run, like just let me bite an ass, but then I might throw like a German and he'll do all the rest of the work.
Hell yeah. And finally, Eric Smith wanted to know, what do you have any favorite snacks while you are having a drink? Doesn't have to be whiskey, but like if you're having a drink at home, any favorite snacks you have?
Let me tell you this.
Oh yes, please.
Here's the hot take. I talked about this on my Twitch stream. So every Monday we do hot takes. Hot take Monday, twitch.tv/Dylan Postl. Hot take Monday. I have a lot of hot takes about, and 90% of them are about food. Pretzels, regular we're not talking soft pretzels like Auntie Anne's, which are heavenly. We're talking regular pretzels. No one likes them. No one. And if you do, you're lying and you need to reevaluate your life. Very simple. You like them like dipping in like a French onion dip. Sure, you like that possibly. Or like in a nacho cheese. Maybe. You don't like them normally. But the rye chips and Chex Mix, only the rye chips. Oh, man. Just a bag of those rye chips while I'm drinking is the best. Yep. Yeah.
Good answer.
No one, I truly feel that. And I had people bring up the other night, they eat peanuts in the shell, like fully.
I tried it. I regretted it.
One of my good buddies from back home does it. And same as sunflower seeds. He'll just chew them. I said, how does that not, like, how are you not bleeding on the back end of this? Like, it's awful. Like it's awful. Just the grittiness. It would be like eating sand, I would feel like.
Yeah, there's like this initial, because I remember I had the same thing because I was sick of peeling them one day, and I was like, because I had like a bag of them or something. And I was like, I thought, I'm like, screw this. So I pop it, and initially they're so coated in like salt and stuff. It's really like, ooh, like, oh my God, you get this wave of like flavor and saltiness. You're like, this is going to be nice. And then you start biting in, you're like, it's like stringy, like it starts splitting and it's like wiry and all this stuff.
It's like eating plywood.
Yeah.
Essentially. I feel like, this is the fat guy in me. I feel like if I'm working and opening peanuts or pistachios or sunflower seeds, I'm taking more time, so I'm eating less. But and I can actually eat more of them over a amount of time.
That's a good point.
It's not working. Let me tell you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But and then Eric, his follow up, which actually ties right in. Maybe you have a hot take on this. I'd be curious to hear. So, in all your time on the road and everything like that, what is the weirdest thing, or what like most out there thing you've had to eat or drink while on the road?
You're a Midwest guy.
Yep.
Culver's.
Oh yeah.
Beat it.
What?
Get it up.
Butterburgers?
If it's fast food burgers, you shouldn't have to wait. I get they're fresh. Whatever. No, they're not. First off, they're overpriced. Carl's Jr. / Hardee's, overpriced. Overpriced. I don't care that they're fresh or they come with a great bun or lettuce and tomato and onion, freshly chopped. They're not freshly chopped. They came in on a truck. No, you're not going to Costco and getting their lettuce and tomato and chopping it. They're not doing that. If I go to a fast food, I want it now. Nothing irritates me more than going to a fast food place, or here I've heard this happen sometimes. When you go to a fast food place and they tell you to pull up after you pay. Oh, just pull it. Can you pull ahead a little bit? Just pull ahead a little bit. No, motherfucker. I want it now. I ordered fast food. If I wanted to wait for my food, I would have came in. I should not have to pull up. Ever. Should not have to pull up after I've given you my money and now I'm away from the window. So when you fuck up my chicken nuggets, I'm too lazy to walk in there instead of looking at my bag, not seeing there's not my chicken nuggets in there and yelling at you through the goddamn drive-through window. This is the issue. It's not a big problem. It shouldn't be. Denise at the goddamn fry window isn't just sitting there, or she shouldn't be. She should be scooping and sliding and scooping and sliding. That's all she should be doing. Get me my goddamn chicken nuggets when I order them.
You never answered the question. It was a hot take. Don't get me wrong. But what was the weirdest thing you've ever had while on the road?
I didn't answer that, did I?
That's what I was. I'm like, oh, we're gonna get to like a restaurant experience where he had something.
Nothing really weird. I'm a very bland eater. You put something in barbecue sauce, I'm good with it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't eat mushrooms because mushrooms are disgusting and no one really likes those either.
Whoa. That's truffle you're talking about here. Mushroom on your pizza. Mushroom and onions on a burger?
Oh, you like the burger. I see. Good. No, nothing really weird. No.
Okay. No, fair. No, damn. I should have left it alone. We should have ended on that hot take.
Oh, you know what I don't like? Here's a weird thing. Here's a weird thing. Over in England, the beans on toast.
Oh, yeah. I never got beans for breakfast or anything. Yeah, no, I never got that either.
And also, they're very saucy and like red saucy beans, like really thin sauce. No, I want Bush's baked beans, thick, little sauce with potato salad and hot dogs.
For breakfast?
That's when you eat them. You don't eat them on toast.
Yeah. I know. I'm 100% with it. We've got a couple British people, so I'll be curious to see what they say. Yeah, the soaked lava beans for breakfast was always weird.
I don't get it.
100% agree.
And they're not hot.
No.
They're room temperature or a little cold.
Nothing. I love all you guys out there, but nothing in England there is overly seasoned anything. It is very.
I don't know how their minds aren't blown more by how seasoned and like prepared our food is here. Like I would think they would never want to leave.
Like, yeah, so like I see both sides because the other side is I'm like, everything is so damn loaded with salt and sodium and sugar and everything. That's why we have this world obesity problem and everything like that. So the flip side of it is hopefully their diet is a little bit more like balanced and maintained. Yeah. So it's the trade-off. Our food has way more flavor, but will kill us. But theirs is blander and will keep them slightly living, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Dylan, no, thank you so much for being on here. Before we go, the usual podcast spiel. Tell everybody what you got going on, where they can find you, what is up.
Find me on all social medias at Dylan Postl, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. My wrestling company, ACW Wisconsin. Find that on Twitter, on Facebook. Give it a like, give it a follow. Then, twitch.tv/Dylan Postl. I'm playing video games. I'm getting angry at food. This last 3 weeks has been nothing but Peeps. I hate Peeps. No one really likes those either.
Oh yeah, no.
They're disgusting. And it's seasonal. I have a feeling it's gonna be a seasonal thing as well. But come hit that follow button. Come join the fun. That's it.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you once again, everybody, for joining us for yet another episode of Straight Shooting here, presented by Wrestling with Whiskey. We will see you on the next one. Brian Myers will be on here, your buddy. So he will, I'm sure we'll bring up and rehash some of this work. We'll talk about that lost tag team, which may be. But until the next one, everybody, always be, expanding your mind, trying new things, squirting whiskey out of shampoo bottles to try something new. And always, always, always be wrestling with whiskey. We'll see you on the next one.